it takes time. Krishna has to set everything up. Then he says, okay, here's your opportunity. You want to take it, or what do you want to do? It's like a menu. The waiter comes with the menu. Okay. So our desires are like that. So what does Krishna do? Cleanses the desire for material enjoyment. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Savasya chaham riddhi sani vishta matak smritir jnanam apohanang cha. So Krishna says, in your heart, me, I am the one causing you to know, causing you to remember, and causing you to forget also. So, for the devotee, what does Krishna do? Krishna helps you to remember him and helps you to forget your material desires. And for the non-devotee, what does Krishna do? Causes him to remember his material desires and forget Krishna. Krishna is neutral. It's how you want. How do you want to approach Krishna? Some people want nothing to do with Krishna. Krishna says, fine. You don't want anything to do with me? I'll help you. But as soon as you show any interest to approach Krishna, he takes 10 steps towards you. So, now, it says here that the truthful devotee is one who has developed the urge to hear the message of Krishna. That's another symptom that you are a sincere devotee. Like, we all have interests. We're all individuals. So some people, their interest is sports. Some people, it's politics, especially now. Some people, that's their thing. They're constantly checking politics. Or maybe it's business, the stock market. I know people like that every day. They're constantly looking at the stock market. If it goes down, it goes up, So everybody has interests. A devotee, you know you're a devotee because you have developed the urge to hear the message of Krishna. You can test your own pulse. Shri Radharaman Bhagavan Ki Jai. You ask yourself, where does your interest lie? Where does my interest lie? Does it lie in Bollywood? Or does it lie in, I want to spend more time hearing the message of Godhead? Here you are. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's holiday, right? No? For some people. So, it's a Sunday. People want to relax and enjoy. But you made a different decision. You decided, no, I will come to the temple and I will hear the message of Godhead. Therefore, Krishna is right now blessing you. You can take that to the bank. According to this verse, right now, Krishna is blessing you. Why? You're hearing his message. Bhagavatam is the message of Krishna. And it says here, such hearing is virtuous. It's full of virtue. When you watch television or movie, it's mixed. There may be some virtue, but there's also a lot of vice. And it's done very artistically. And the person doesn't even know. And I'm 65 years old, so I know what television and movie was like in the 50s, then in the 60s. They're always pushing that envelope. Nowadays, what's on television back when I was a child would be unheard of. What has happened? Kali Yuga has happened. And you know better than me how India was 50 years ago. I remember going to India in 1975. And now India now, it's completely different country, is it not? Well, not only that, but the contamination has come in. I know. I went in 1975. I went in 76. Then I didn't go until 1988. When I went to 1988, I got, this is not Vrindavan. What happened? Things are changing. Kali Yuga is progressing. Television, movies, and Prabhupada used to point this out when he would preach. Not me. Prabhupada used to say, in India, the people, and then you're going after the Western American thing, but you're losing your culture. Right? Prabhupada used to preach like that. When he came to America, we already lost our culture, so there was no need to point it out. But when he would preach in India, he would warn them, you're chasing after technology, you're chasing after imitating America, money, 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 but you're losing your culture. And we've seen. And I've heard from many of you what has transpired over the years. So, you come to the temple, that is the best thing you can do on a Sunday night. You can't do anything better. Trust me, the best thing you can do on a Sunday night is come to this temple, see the deities, take prasadam, hear the message of Godhead. And Krishna becomes your benefactor. All right. And then it says, when properly heard and chanted. So properly heard and chanted means respect, attentive, turning the cell phones off, paying attention. Yes. Well, of course. Obviously. All right, let's do one more verse. This is from the 5th chapter. Idang hi pungsastapasha srutasya va shvatasya suktasya cha buddhi datayo avichuttartha kavibir nirupito yad uttama shloka gunarnuvarnanam. We already chanted that word. Uttama shloka, everybody. My style of preaching, which I've developed over the years, whenever the name of God is there, I get you to repeat it. Because by chanting the name of God, you become blessed. Many of you come up after, get blessings. That's nice. But you can get your own blessings anytime you want. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bless yourselves. You can bless yourself anytime. That's the whole point of this lecture series that I'm going to do. So this verse, one of my chapters that I like, Narada instructs Vyas. At the early stages of Kali Yuga, Vyasadeva is in his hut on the bank of the river. And one day, rising early, performing his daily sadhana or spiritual practices, he comes to the point his mind is disturbed. Something's not right. And because Vyasadeva is Mahamuni, the great thinker, he sort of knows what's the problem. But at that moment, his guru comes. Narada Muni bhajai vina radhika ramana name. Just like we chant Radha Raman, Narada Muni has an instrument, and when he plucks the strings, it says Radha Raman Radhika Raman. What an instrument, huh? We play guitar or tambura, right? It goes ding, ding, ding. But Narada Muni, why his instrument does like that? Because he didn't get his instrument at Loy Bazaar. His instrument was given to him by Krishna himself. Who would want, I would want that instrument. That veena came from Krishna, and when he strokes the string, Radhika Raman, Radhika Raman. So Narada is never in Maya. Why? Because that tambura is always with him, and wherever he goes, he's flying. Radhi, or I know, I've seen some movies, the Hindi movies, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. I've seen. But, so when Vyasadeva is in this dilemma, Narada just happens to come. That's called in English serendipity. When you need the right thing, the thing you need most, boom, just appears. Serendipity. So there's a long discussion. It takes 2 chapters in the first canto. Very nice section of Bhagavatam. First canto, chapters 5 and 6. Discussion between Narada and Vyas. So one of the things Narada said, Narada says, learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, so now he's going to explain what is the infallible purpose of advancement of knowledge. What does he say? Austerities. That's real, that's how you get knowledge, by performing austerity. Study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, giving charity. Like right now, temple here is doing everything they can to get the congregation to give charity for the new temple. Am I right? And that is first-class charity. There's charity in the mode of ignorance, charity in the mode of passion, charity in the mode of goodness. When you donate to the construction of a temple, it's right there in the 11th canto of Srimadbhagavatam. It is the instruction of Krishna. Temples and gardens should be constructed. Are we going to have a garden for the deities? There should be a garden for the deities, so they have their own flowers that nobody can pick or smell. Should be, that's very important according to what Krishna told Uddhava. So, that is the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge. But it culminates, because everything you do, there has to be some kind of fruit. Like, we go to work, we tolerate the 405 or the 5, and like my wife has to spend an hour and a half going to Century City and coming home sometimes at night 2 hours. Right? It's a hassle. But what is she doing in the car? Hare Krishna, Krishna. So she's okay. She's smart. She says, I'm locked in the car, no problem. Hare Krishna, Krishna. So so we tolerate that work or going to work. Why? We want to see some fruit. That bi-monthly paycheck. No paycheck? Sorry. No work. Nobody's going to the boss and saying, boss, I'm going to work for you because I love you. You don't have to pay me. If you have that kind of that kind of worker, don't let him go. But you're not going to find that. Everybody's working because they want that fruit. It's called fruitive activity. Work, you pay. And that's how the material world goes on. But this advancement of knowledge culminates in transcendental descriptions of the Lord. So that is Shreemad-Bhagavatam. Shreemad-Bhagavatam is transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. That's why I explained before. Uttama Shloka. Just like what's today? Valentine's Day. So everybody was finding the right card with the right message, the flowers, the chocolate, and giving it to their beloved, their imitation Radha. Right? That's Valentine's Day. Everybody gets to play Rasalila. Imitation. So that card, you want to make sure it says the right thing. You just don't go, give me only any card. No. Has to be the right card. And then you select that right card and you give to your. So what to speak? God, when the sages, Vyasadeva, Shukadev, when they're going to write to God about God, they're going to be very, very careful of the wording. Just like if you're going to enter into a business contract, a lawyer has to get involved. And that lawyer, what's his job? Go over the contract, make sure there's no loopholes. That's why you pay the lawyer. Because if you overlooked, especially the fine print, right? As we say in America, the devil is in the details. Insurance policy or whatever, negotiations. The lawyer looks very carefully at the wording because you don't want to go into something then later you lose all your money. Very, very careful. So what to speak of? Describing God, Vyasadeva, Valmiki, they're going to use very select terminology because they're dealing with the Supreme Person. I'm over time by 1 minute. Please forgive me. Let's end by chanting the Maha Mantra. Thank you. Thank you.